And what's up, everybody? I'm back with another movie review. Today, I'm reviewing Night at the Museum Battle of the Smithsonian, the second of the Night at the Museum movies, released in 2009. You want to see my review of the first Night at the Museum movie? Go check that out in the movie reviews playlist. It also is most likely my most recent movie review, so you can go check that out. Yeah, so here we go. Again, starring Ben Stiller and all the other characters and everything like that. So I got a lot of thoughts on this movie. Let's just jump right into it, shall we? Right off the bat, you can tell that this movie has a much higher budget because the quality level is a lot higher. Um, like I said in the review of the first movie, I thought the CGI still held up pretty well, all things considered. But in this movie, it definitely does show that they had a lot more to work with, and there's a lot of those like small kinks, small things that are patched up, and look a lot nicer. And they go a lot more all out with stuff as well, with tropes or gags or effects, all that sort of stuff. So it all really does pan out, which I like. And you've got, again, lineups of A-list actors. Ben Stiller's still here. Owen Wilson's still here. The Annoying British Guy's still here. They're all still here. And it's nice. You throw in a few others, too, that weren't there the first time. You got yourself a pretty good cast lineup. And I think the acting overall is still good. Still pretty good in this movie. I'd say it's about on the level of the first movie. Maybe a little bit better, but still mostly on level. But what I want to know is what happened to that lady from the first movie that I guess you would say is the quote unquote love interest? Like I didn't really talk about this much in the first review, but like there's another employee at the museum that like he has a sort of crush on, and he talks to her a good amount, and they kind of become friends, and then it's supposed to be like left off that they're going to be like a love interest or whatnot, and she's let in on the secret of them coming alive at night and everything. And I'm like, and they didn't really touch on a lot of it in the first movie. Like I said, there wasn't really a strong push for a relationship or anything. So I was expecting more of that in this movie, or at least to have them build off of it. And I don't know, they just couldn't recast this lady. They didn't want to recast her. They had different ideas. Who knows? Anything could have happened, but she's just not there or not even mentioned, which was very weird for me. I don't know why they chose just not to mention her. At least, if you couldn't recast her and she couldn't be in the film, don't at least mention her. Anything would have been fine for me. Another thing that really pisses me off is somehow they just get away with committing federal crimes all throughout this movie. The three guys that were the plot twist villains in the first movie, they go to jail, and Ben Stiller has to break them out of jail or like bail them out of jail. I think that's touched on in the third movie, but it's prominent here. But in this movie, like Ben Stiller and all these other people just commit crimes, federal crimes. Is their federal property that they're destroying. So most of this movie takes place on the, what's it called? The National Mall is what it's called. Washington, D.C. grounds. It's where most of this movie takes place. And there's just no repercussions from it at all. And also what's weird is this guy's kid, who he starts calling Nicky and then just calls him Nick. Okay. Just has access to the entire Smithsonian like mall floor plans and databases and locations and everything like that from a regular MacBook back home in New York. What? Like, Ben Stiller literally has to take down an employee, Jonah Hill, and has to take him down steal his badge to get into the place and wears like fake clothes and whatnot. So how does the kid, this is before this all happens, by the way, the kid still has access. What the fuck? How does that make any sense? This kid, like 12 years old, has some like master hacker skills? What? It makes absolutely zero sense that they do this. Like, okay. It's never explained how he gets in the system. It's like, is that like public information? You can just look at the floor plans of the Smithsonian museums of the National Mall? Like, I thought that'd be classified government information so they can look at stuff, or stuff for just the Smithsonian stuff. I guess not, though. And, you know, the whole point of, like, the history coming alive part, obviously, is so that they can have people playing, you know, famous historical characters. And that's, you know, still true in this movie. Expansive even more so, because they go to a lot more different places, so a lot more characters can involve. And then we just get, like, this random pop culture drop with Oscar the Grouch and Darth Vader. Okay. Cool. They don't really have any significance other than just being a force you in there, have fun with that. But cool, I guess. And then, there's a funny quote that I wanna, that I would like to talk about. It's, man, 4 bars in 1945? Because he takes his phone in 1945 and somehow cell reception. That was actually a pretty funny joke. I cannot lie. This movie did have a lot of good humor in it too, just like the first one did. So I really like that. And another thing that was really weird was Ben Stiller this time has a love interest. Like a true love interest that they, in more cliche movie tropes, force upon you. It's like a big part of the film. And you want to know who it is? Amelia Earhart. What? It's just really weird because it's implied that these are wax figures that just come alive and he's like making out with her a lot of top parts of this movie. What? That doesn't make any sense. And then, like, I don't know, like, I really was very hopeful after the first film when they were pretty subtle and not super, didn't do anything super crazy with a love interest, and then they get rid of the first person, and now this person comes up, and they decide to make it Amelia Earhart and just go all out. I mean, it's part of their going all out type deal, but I didn't like it. I did not like it at all. The weirdest part was at the end of the movie, after Amelia Earhart goes back to the Smithsonian Museum and he's in New York and he sees a random girl walking through the museum. Guess what? She's played by the same actor that played the Amelia Earhart in the movie. So he's like, oh, you look familiar. And then they meet. So, cool. It's cool. But this movie was solid. This was also just a solid, good movie. I got a lot of laughs out of it. I thought it was, you know, I liked a lot of the effects. I liked all the different historical characters that we got to see. The acting was good. So, I gotta say, I liked it. I give it another 7 out of 10. I think it's just like the first movie. I think they're about on par. I maybe give this one a 7.5 if I had to rank it higher. I do think it's better than the first one, but only by a little bit. So I guess I'll keep it at a 7. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this review. If you've ever seen Night of the Museum Battle at the Smithsonian, I'd like to know your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. And that's going to do it for this video as well. So stay tuned for other much more amazing content, including more movie reviews. Got a couple more of these to do. And until next time, See you guys later. Goodbye.